After watching the reunion, one word I can describe it is messy. It was just straight up messy. Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. How you guys doing? Good? Good? I'm doing good too. I'm just peachy excited to talk this video. As you can tell by the title, as always, we are going to be talking about Love is Blind, those two episodes, 11 and 12, I think. And geez Louise, the ending of that and the reunion, just a complete disaster and a mess. I live for it, but completely a mess. And we're gonna talk about it, so let's go. Oh, wait, before we go on, you guys might be new here. I'm Vera White. Nice to meet ya. I hope I get to see you more often. Maybe, click the subscribe button, press that like, that could really help me out. And you get more fun, creative videos like this. Welcome. Anyways, back to it. So we're obviously going to talk about the first couple that the show left off on, and that is Bertice and Nancy. Now, as we know, Nancy says yes. We all know how I felt about that in my previous video. I was disappointed of her answer. I was not happy. It's just, Now we finally got the answer of what Bertice says. And I gotta be honest, I was shocked by his answer. His answer says, I do not. And you gotta understand, I was so shocked because I thought this was gonna be one of the couples that I did not like, that were gonna be ending up together and both say I do. But for him to say I do not, I was so shocked. I was just like, really? And you can just see and feel the betrayal on Nancy's face. She just looks completely done. You can just tell by looking at her. And for her just to walk away and everything. And for her to be like, oh, you want to talk in front of everyone? What? Why would you want to have that conversation in front of everyone? That should be like a private conversation. What makes you think it's a good idea to do it in front of everyone, especially her family? Because as you can tell, her family will beat the shit out of you. You can just tell they take no shit, no whatsoever. It's just like, wow. And, of course, as Nancy was walking away, she was trying not to, cry and stuff like that. Like, don't hug me, blah, blah, blah. And her family comes joining in. And I gotta tell you, the family scene broke my heart even more. Because you can tell this family's a ride or die. They will back you up in an instant, no matter what. And the brother just saying, he wishes that he wasn't right. And the mother said, you were right. And giving a whole speech, we gotta be strong for her and all that. And I was just like, oh my God. What an emotional day, and I'm not even there, And it was just a lot. My favorite part is, how the family was. It was backing her up, basically speaking for her when she couldn't. Because you can tell she just shut down and just could not speak. And when Bertice, pulled over to talk to her and he was saying, it doesn't make sense for us to be together, Nancy and Bertice, I don't see you in my future. There's all that dumb saying that he said, even though he never said this to her in, the episodes and blah, blah. Oh, it's just not the physical attraction, blah, blah. He just kept going. And to my favorite part was when the family come, especially the brother calling him out when he was like, you brought us here, just say do not, and just calling him all that. And now I gotta say, Bertice was incredibly disrespectful to her family. Do not talk to her mom that way. I don't know who he is for him to be talking that. They are justified with the reaction because he literally did bring them out just to say, I do not. And the whole scene of him crying before the wedding. It was just like, what was that? What was all of this for? You could have just said this earlier and just left if they can. I don't know if the contract was holding them or anything, but like, really? Like, they brought a good point. And the brother was right. He is a little punk. He is a little boy. Like, everything they were saying, I agreed. It was like, yes, go. Go, Steve. So I said, Steve. Steve. And I was just like, go, Steve. Say it. Call him out. Say it. What we've been saying. Because literally all of us has been saying this. Now, moving on to the next couple, Brandon and Alexa. They said yes, yeah, we don't need to say anything about them. Claps for them, congratulations. Moving on to Colleen and Matt. See, when they both said yes, especially Colleen, again, I was disappointed. It's just, they are horrible together. So horrible together. I just like don't understand what compelled her to say yes after he keeps running after little problems, and for her to be like, yes, I do. It's just, what? What do you mean you do? I mean, there's no big scene that came out there. They say I do, they celebrate it, but it's just like they said yes. That's just like, this man is scary. From what I've seen the scenes they in, it's just like, what the heck is going on? And why did you say yes? Mainly, I was just disappointed in that. Now, to the last couple, Cole and Zaynab. Whew. Yo, let me tell you, when I saw this scene, I had mixed feelings about it. I was like, oh, she's gonna say yes. Oh, she's gonna say no. But I kept going back and forth. Eventually, I thought, I was like, she's gonna say no. I think she's gonna say no. And I was right. But that's not all she did. She gave us a whole speech of how Cole disrespected her, how she ruined her self-confidence on the turn. Like, it was a whole speech after it. And I gotta say, I clapped with the audience too. I was just clapping and I was just like, yes, tell him what he did. You can tell she had that sense of relief after saying that speech. You can tell she'd been wanting to sing this for a while now, and for her just to let it all out, it's just like, it was a moment. It was a clapping moment. You can tell that was just a lot for her. You can tell she genuinely loved him, but at the same time knows that she wasn't for him. And I gotta applaud to that, because it takes a person to step away from the person that they know they shouldn't be with. Like, clap to that. And Cole was just standing there shocked and just like, why are you shocked? You knew this was happening, to be honest. Let's be honest. We all knew this was happening after what he did. Just get a grip, man. Now, to my favorite part, the reunion. Oh my god, this reunion, it was, that's the best way to describe it. It's just my explosions. It was incredibly intense and messy. It was just like, jeez Louise. So we're gonna talk about it and how I feel about it. Also, before we jump right into that, if you guys want to know what I was thinking along to any of these episodes, go check out my Twitter. It'll be down in the description box below. You can see everything I felt and everything I was thinking as I was watching it. Basically a live tweet as I was watching the show. So you can go there and like follow all my rest of my social media, and don't forget to subscribe. Anyways, on to the reunion. Of course, there are like the couples that are sitting together, and then the non-couples are on their own side, like the guys and the boys and stuff like that. You know, the basic the basics of the reunion. So, the starting of the reunion, they talked about the pool scene between Colleen and Cole. And they brought up like the people how they felt about it. They asked Zainab how she felt about it. And of course she was obviously just like stunned by it and all that. And she goes to say that Cole didn't even apologize to her after like weeks. And to be honest, when I heard that, I believe it. I 100% believe it, because from what we've seen from Cole, I would not be surprised, because it seems like he just says things and probably just like apologize right away or not say it. I think it's both, but I believed it. And one thing I can appreciate is Colleen like saying like, oh, I am sorry for that happening, you know, blah blah. Like, it was nothing big in that scene. It was just her apologizing, saying, I'm sorry, that's embarrassing. You know, I have love and respect for Zaynab and blah blah blah. Cool, get that. Perfect. And then they move on to Raven, SK. Ah! They're dating! Oh my god! They're dating. Was I a little bit worried that they did not end up together at all after wedding? Just a little. Because they look, out of all the couples there, they look like the actual couple, like who actually took this experiment and took it to heart. It seems like they grew fabulously and they're so cute. Yay for them. They confirmed that they were dating, blah blah blah. And also, I gotta say, at first I was upset with SK for saying no, but when you really think about it, he made the right choice, because he did bring up a good point how them being married and not being them together at all for like the next 2 years, because they got their own thing and stuff like that. He brought up a very good point of how it will put them into a lot of problems and they need to work through this for something this big. And honestly, I agree with it. Like, that was an incredibly a smart decision for him. And you can tell he truly cares about her for him to be like, no. You can tell that she cares and that prefers to keep, you know, it going and not destroyed everything they built in within that month over this thing. So apply to SK for that, because everyone's like bashing him like, oh, he's the nice guy and stuff like that. No, when you really think about it, you gotta understand from another person's point of view. And I did, so I gotta applaud to him for that. So yay to them. Now moving on to the rest of the to the reunion. Now they brought out Bartiz and Nancy. And what the hell was wrong with Bartiz with that big ass ball on his head? Why is he looking like that? It's just like, it looks like a big pimple that needs to be popped. Or like a big mole. It's just like, he thinks he's looking fly, but he's really not. He looks like a little boy. I'm sorry, but he does. And for him to be like, oh, I was rooting for us as we were watching it, just say yeah. It's just like, shut up. We all know it is bull. We all know what you're saying is literally just for the TV. Like, it's been proven, it's been shown that you're clearly doing this for TV, and you're one of the ones who had it out for so long that you were able to still be on TV still. And for him to be like, yeah, I would want a second chance, like, excuse you? You don't deserve a second chance. I was so happy when Nancy was like, no, I'm done. But I also felt bad because she got emotional during reunion. You could tell she's just like so angry and sad. At the same time, it's just like, I felt so incredibly sad for her. It's just like, let me give you a hug. Yeah, no, she didn't really say as much, but she did like a little jabs in there for other people. Like, some people didn't keep their comments to themselves after the pause and stuff like that, and there, but she didn't really go in And I kind of wish she would did. I feel like that was like the perfect moment for her to be let it all out and just like bash him really for what he did. But she didn't. So I don't know if she did that for a reason or the producers didn't let her. We don't know, but I wish Bertista got a little bit more heat than he normally did in reunion. But the person who got heat was Cole. And yo, we need to talk about it because I have so many thoughts about it. It's just obviously Twitter has thoughts about it because it was trending for 2 days straight, and holy moly. Now, everyone is coming after Cole saying, because he was saying a bunch of stuff, like, everyone's basically saying, like, what Cole did, like, they can never, respect Cole for what they did to Zaynab, which is that they know something behind the scenes of what they've been told, blah, blah, blah. And then Cole was just saying, like, why are you guys attacking me? I didn't do nothing wrong, blah, blah, blah. Basically defending himself, even though the proof is right there. You can literally look at the entire season of it. And then it comes to Zaynab saying, like, oh, the day before the wedding, you told me you trying to get a girl's number, trying to kiss her, and blah, blah, blah. And he just blatantly just, like, not denied it. He just kept denying. It was just like she was he was calling her crazy and saying like oh, you're insane, stuff like that. I kind of appreciate Brennan for that moment, for him to be like, we don't call anyone insane or crazy, like, oh, it's the same thing. I kind of appreciate him for saying that because it kind of shows like how you say things does matter. And for him to step in, like, defend her, I was just like, thank you. Like, that's a real man defending someone, and he knows that someone's full of bullshit. And it leads to Cole saying, like, oh, you're lying. Which, honestly, like, it's nothing wrong with that. It's just how he feels. And just saying, like, this and that. And then one thing I noticed during the reunion, during that part, is that the boys were silent. Well, some of them were. They were just completely silent, just like did not say anything about that. And that kind of shows me that Zam could not be lying about that part because they were adamant on being quiet and just zip. And it's just like kind of like, okay. One thing I do appreciate that Zam did kind of, like, everyone kept saying that she did not take accountability. She did take an accountability. She took accountability for her action. It was like, oh yeah, I should have shown him more grace. Shouldn't have been on him like that. Everyone kept saying like she was all on him. No, she took some for herself and was like, yeah, I shouldn't not done this and stuff like that. So everyone just completely over the head. And now, back to the part where everyone's been talking about it for 2 days straight, was the cutie scene. Now, let me explain what the cutie scene is all about a little bit. The cutie scene is, Zam goes to tell that Cole was, like, controlling her eating habits of what she ate, making remarks, blah, blah, blah. And she goes to say the cute scene, how she got 2 cuties, like 2 per serving, and Cole goes to say, oh, are you gonna eat that? And she was like, yeah, because she hadn't ate peanut butter and only ate a banana for the long day of filming. That's what she said. And Cole was like, no, you're lying, blah, blah, blah. And then it ends up him breaking down there, like him crying, apologizing for his actions and stuff like that. And then towards the end, the producer were messy for this. They show the scene that they were talking about, and I don't know why, but everyone jumps in and says like, oh, she is a liar, this and that. And am I the only one who's still on Team Zaynab? Because she did not lie. She literally said what happened in that scene for word. Like, she literally said, like, oh, there's 2 servings. Like, everyone immediately jumped, like, oh, she jumped the gun, took something twisted of what he said into something innocent. You know, it's easy to see it from that point of view, but if your partner's constantly telling you you're a 9-10, degrading your looks, this and that, it's kind of hard not to hear it from that way. It can be the most innocent thing ever. She can easily, like, take another way because of his words and his action, and people for completely dismissed it. It was just like mind-boggling. Like, are you guys this stupid? Because he cried one time, like, oh my god, now he's the victim? Like, what? I find it very dumb how everyone immediately turned on Zale. Like, it was hilarious, actually. It's just like, for the entire season, everyone was against Cole, and the one little scene, everyone's on Team Cole. Really? She didn't lie. You can tell she was gone in that scene. She was just tired and all that. It's just like, everyone's bashing at her. I'm just like, did you guys not watch the season with me and stuff like that? So that's what happened. And everyone just bashing on her. Now, there's something I want to talk about. I left it last because it's kind of sensitive. And so that it was a little bit concerning. As I was watching Reunion, I could not help but notice Colleen. Colleen, for the entire reunion, she looked so scared and uneasy. I just kept pointing it out. I'm like, you see her? She looks uneasy. Like, she wasn't her bubbly self. Like, yeah, she's a little awkward, but she wasn't her type of awkward. It looked like she was just so scared. And for Matt to be extremely that close to her during the reunion, it seems like he's like a little bit controlling, possessive. And that, like, worried me a lot. I'm like, I hope she's okay. I didn't, like, did something happen before the reunion or something? It's just like, I hope she's okay, because that was alarming and stuff like that. It's just like, jeez Louise, man. Is she okay? That's all I'm gonna say on that topic. I don't want to get into too deep in because it's kind of sensitive, and I don't want to get into that level. So we're moving on. My original thoughts, my overall thoughts on the reunion. Matt shouldn't got the heat. Bertie shouldn't got more heat. I believe Zainab. Cole, you're still a little boy. Yay for SK Raven. Brenda and Alexa are very cute. And I'm glad that she opened up a little bit, too, about, like, how he was the one, stuff like that. So I'm glad with that. And that's pretty much my thoughts on the 2 episodes. What you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. That's pretty much it. I got nothing else to say. So, give this video a like, subscribe, and stay hydrated. Have a good night, good morning. Just have a good one, okay? And bye.